for being here with us on CVM It's Sunrise. And I know many of you, it's back to school time, so I know you're hustling out the house, you're getting the children ready, you're trying to get breakfast ready, but guess what? We're always here to keep your company and to put a smile on your face. Now, over the weekend, the revelers brought all the carnival vibes to Kingston, Jamaica, along with the confettis and the feathers. They've also brought trash. The question now is, how did the city manage the massive cleanup, and are we satisfied with what has happened? This morning, we're getting the full sweep with His Worship Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, and NSWMA Executive Director, Audley Gordon. We're talking post-party plans, progress, and how is Kingston keeping up with things and keeping the place clean and, of course, making sure that everything is all right. Gentlemen, good morning. How are you?
Morning, I'm good.
Lovely.
Very good.
Well, it's my first time seeing you, Sir Mayor, and so again, congratulations on your win. And of course, Audley and I go way back because whenever I'm keeping my blood drive, I say this publicly all the time. You always ensure that we get the Nelson Mandela Park. You make sure that everything is okay because you understand that it is about nation building and it is a matter of importance. And I'm always very grateful to you, sir, for your help and, of course, your support. Thank you so very much. All right, gentlemen, let's start with His Worship because a lot of people, sir, were complaining about the road and, you know, the garbage and all of that. Are you satisfied? Because you would have put certain things in place to ensure that what happened in formative years does not carry over. Where are we this morning?
Well, you'll never be fully satisfied. Let me just be clear on that. But out of last year, I made a commitment that we will engage Carnival crew and big events in general. From 3 months before,
yes,
making sure that we work out all the issues out. And Sol Lewis was at the table with us, and we have started the discussion from January.
Yes.
And we have consistently having those meetings. And one of the things that we have said, nobody will ever get a permit without the authorization of National Solid Waste Management Authority. So it's either you make an agreement with Solid Waste Authority, or if you're going through a private service provider,
yes,
National Solid Waste Management Authority should approve of that.
Yes. Well, you talk about the meetings, Mayor. Talk to me about, you know, because some people are saying, well, there was a contract and all of that, and moving forward, this is how we're going to be doing things. Because, yes, it's all right to party, but we have to party responsibly and not at the expense of the city and other people. How have the promoters been responding to that?
They have responded fairly well to it. At first, you got a little resistance because they were saying that we're dictating them who actually to engage. And we understand that they're right, because originally we wanted just a National Solid Waste Management Authority to deal with everything.
Yes.
But we give in to them a little bit. We made sure that we have shown them the importance that we cannot go back to what was last year.
Right.
And I'm sure that the Jamaican public understand it was much better than last year.
I agree, because I've driven past and I directly looked at and I'm like, wow, it definitely is an improvement. Some persons, though, Mayor, were talking about and still complaining about, for example, Juve, the paint and the defacing of certain properties. How are we treating with that?
That's one of our biggest disappointment. It has improved, I must tell you. But what we insisted, we should have power wash team driving right behind. And I was actually there watching it.
Yes.
I think we have to go to a stage where you have to approve of these power wash companies,
right,
to make sure you have a pre-approved list to say choose one of these lists. And I think you also have to look at the route. For example, when you're going through New Kingston, the Golden Triangle, probably should not be restricted to 2 but 4 to make sure that walls are immediately clean.
Yes.
And you also have to look at the quality paint that they're used to make sure that whenever water is used, it can wash it off easily.
Right, right. Well, let's get Audley in on this. Talk to me, NSWMA, working hard to keep our city clean, keeping Jamaica clean. How did it feel to be partnering with, you know, the Carnival promoters this year?
Well, firstly, we always see Carnival as a huge commercial endeavor, and we acknowledge the benefits to the economy.
Yes.
Therefore, we assume a sense of duty to the public to make sure that after this commercial success, there is another success, which is to get the thing back to normalcy as quickly as possible.
Right.
To that end, we had several meetings going into Carnival, some at the mayor's office, some at our offices, some are joint meetings with promoters, with people who event planners. And so we wrote the code of protocols, and to a large extent they held up. And we were out and about, our people were among the revelers, behind the revelers, after the revelers. And so we were deep into the morning, and so that's why Monday morning you didn't see the debacle that you'd have seen last year,
Yeah.
because of all the planning that came together. I must big up the staff at the NSWMA,
Yes.
the municipal police, our enforcement officers, our sanitation people. So too often you get into the reveling and the drinking and the whining and the music, and you forget that there are some people who are there to work.
Yes.
So I really want to acknowledge them this morning. But it is a partnership that we always want to struck with the public. You do your part, we do our part. The revelers went out, they had a great time. They move out within a certain time frame, so we were able to do our clean. There are some things that we see that we have to do differently, and there are some other partnerships that we have to tighten up. For example, roads can't be reopened as quickly as the revelers pass. We're going to have to look at that with the police some more,
right,
and to make sure that we get more time to do the cleanup. Because when you open the road and the cars and, the
yes,
bikes,
confusion,
and
yes.
it's difficult for us to maneuver with the cleaning in the way we love.
But gentlemen, and let me ask you first, Audley, and then Mayor, you can chime in. Outside of Carnival, though, we have a littering problem. We have a garbage problem.
Right.
And I've often said it's not about the NSWMA, it's not about the municipality, it's about us as Jamaicans also being cognizant of the fact that we have a responsibility to keep Jamaica clean. I saw some photographs the other day of Halfway Tree, and it was embarrassing. It looked disgusting. Talk to me about what are we doing as a nation, as a people, as entities to keep Jamaica clean.
So firstly, I would remind Jamaica that we weren't like this.
Yeah.
I grew up in a country where we clean up, and it was cool to do so. We didn't have to wait on it. People sweep up and people go, and it was offensive to see the place not properly cleaned.
Yes.
And so on. And the civic pride can be evoked. And we're trying that with a Pass the Broom initiative that we are doing now, going into all the communities. We are talking to farmers, we are talking to youth clubs, churches. I mean, we're going into schools, we're working with the children, and we're passing the broom symbolically, using a broom to remind us that we used to do this. We can't keep doing it. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. While we modernize, while we go technology, we can still tidy up the bits.
Definitely.
And so this part of what we have to do is to get the partnership. Because 4,000 men and women at the NSWMA cannot keep Jamaica clean if there are 3 million decide to toss things through the windows of the car as they do now. We are seeing where travel waste has become a major problem. Every time you cut the highways or cut any of the major thoroughfares, you see more debris, more plastic bottles, more lunch boxes than the time before. We have to do better.
And all of those, sir, will end up somewhere.
We have to
in a drain somewhere, Mayor. You know what I mean? In our rivers, in our oceans, and that is a problem.
Right. So there is an issue of enforcement, and we are stepping that up, and we have gotten some additional bodies, thanks to the Ministry of Finance. Our minister had lobbied hard for us on our board, and we had 40 enforcement officers, close to 40. We now have over 100. We have some on bikes now, so we can do more rapid time. We have an NSWM app